Continue. Okay. So hopefully you guys are on that PowerPoint, the 2021 PAAE Ag Business Workshop. So essentially what you guys have access to right now is my creative component for my grad, for my master's. I teach at Athens, and every year we struggle with ag business. That's like our area that we really struggle with. And then I was working with my professor at Iowa State and working with Dr. Curry, and we kind of looked at our data from one of the needs assessments, and ag business was indicated as a factor that needed help with. And I was like, not excited about this because I am not a professional. Like, I don't know ag business at all. I'm gonna move over here so you guys can all see it. And by the way, if you guys are on, if you're in person and you have all the links that you need and you would prefer to be off Zoom, you can do that or just stay on. We're not judging here. So this is my little caveat here. I have no clue what I'm talking about for ag business. I took ag business in college and had Dr. Byerline and struggled a lot. I don't know if any of you guys had him. And we have an ag like sales team, but I'm like an animal science person. So when I designed this curriculum, I designed it for people who know nothing about ag business like me. So hopefully this helps you out. For some of you, this might feel like repetitive or you know a lot of this stuff. And like Tiffany, who's on Zoom here, then you're actually going to see one of your lessons in this. But essentially, it just has a lot of cool things that you guys can share with. Also, something I want you guys to know is that I talk fast, and I only have an hour to talk to you about something that took me like 2 years to make. So please ask me questions. I am a really bad facilitator and forgot to put my email on here, but I will after the session, and you guys can ask me any questions. But you have in this folder a 21-day unit on ag business. And I taught it this year with Dave Steinfeld, the other teacher at Athens. We co-teach an FFA SAE class, and it took us about 35 days, and we skipped stuff. So you can really extend it a lot. We did that mostly because some other activities for that class were canceled for COVID. So we're like, we're going to stretch this out. But it was really good and really effective. We didn't have as many students do the NOCD this year, but they did a lot better on the ag business portion. So that was kind of nice to have like some legitimate data. But yeah, we have 40-minute periods. So that's another reason it went long. And we also like got a student teacher in there. So things got a little crazy, which is why it went long. But you can definitely do a lot there. So what I do now for you guys is I want you, before we even dive into any of the lessons, I want you to think of 3 successful businesses in your community. And then in your opinion, why are they successful? So just talk to a couple of partners about that. I'll give you guys a minute and we'll talk through that before we start through some lessons. All right, and go. I want you guys.
Here, Beth, I put a couple of things in the chat to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? Oh, this isn't shared with you. Do I have sharing rights? Do you use activity? I just have the template on here, and what the students do is on one end of the template. Loading. So on the start box, they write their name and then they have their first term or definition. So on the next top domino, they have to have the matching item. So then you shuffle them and give it to the students. They have to put it in the correct order. Okay, so that's just a fun, different review activity, kind of like tic-tac-toe. It just is different. They kind of like that. The last lesson is just them creating their own business plan. We did have our students create a digital resource to show with the class about their business. And then we did ask them to dress nice for their presentation, and it was kind of legit. We had some great presentations from our students. I want to show you some of the art or documents that go with it. So students can kind of work through what product or service am I providing, how much will it cost, what's my business motto, or do I have a slogan? We had one student create a company that would babysit a farm for you if you want to go on vacation. We had other students who like did lawn mowing items, and now they're doing that this summer. So that's kind of cool too. We also had some students do it based on their SAE project. So we have a student who like sells maple syrup. So we're like, make a business plan for that. Like, let's make this, like, how can you add more to your existing SAE project? So that is a really cool extension if you have students. And maybe you just take this document and give it to that student who has that awesome SAE that you want to help them elevate it more. So that can be really fun. This might be a more appropriate time to have your principal come instead of Shark Tank to come watch their presentations. That could be really cool. And Steinfeld makes fun of, Mr. Steinfeld makes fun of me because I always have them, I like to have them peer or self-review themselves before they present. So I want them to go through and say, do I have all the components? Or look at a classmates, do they have everything covered? And that way they know how they're being graded. So please take, adapt, steal, whatever you want for that. Whew, all the things. Just some really quick items. These documents in here, I think you have access just to view them. So you can make a copy and edit, change however you want. That's no problem. I think you can make a copy of the whole folder and then you'd be able to edit all those things. If you prefer Word documents, I've installed some of these as Word and some as Google Doc. Just email me and I'll email it to you. John is going to have all of these and upload them for you. It's just not done yet. Okay, so you will have access to any of those things. There are also some other things that I'm sure I'm missing from this folder, so I might be adding more items to it as well, like things that Dave and I created to share with our students. So you can always be looking back for that as well. Whew. What questions can I answer about this? Cool beans. As you guys, if you teach any of these and you guys have more suggestions, let us know so we can like share it out with everybody else and just make ag business great again. Just saying. I don't know about your NACTI scores, but it's always our lowest in my school. So with that, I left you 2 minutes to fill out your evaluations. So those were in the Zoom. If you need those, I can probably email them to you again. Thanks for your patience. I know this was a lot of content to go through. Y'all are awesome.
I'm just working on sharing those links for you guys. I see the
Thank you, Beth.
The note there. Give me 1 second.
If anybody is here and wants to fill out. Thank you, Beth.
This one is the eval. Okay, both links are in there. Everyone. I'm also going to stop the recording, so just so you guys know.